Christian Agenda, Chapter 10, Engraved Moments. One more lesson that can really help us now that we are over Christmas. Today is actually December 25th. We are in the last hours of this 2022 Christmas, starting to shift our mind towards the new year and some reflections about the new year. So it's great, the idea that we are starting a new year, and with that it gives us this time where we can assess the year that went by and we can plan for the new year. And of course, I think these time frames are important for us as human beings because it gives us these kind of chunk pieces of time that help us to assess and reset. Nothing is going to be necessarily different from one day to another. But again, in our humanity, those times are like really important. So as we go through this week, we will take some time to reflect on the opportunities there are out there for us in the new year. And this chapter is called Engraved Moments, which is, something that is part of our lives. We're gonna have this year, we will continue to have very difficult moments. That's natural. It's part of growing. It's part of the enlightenment process. We can't grow without grave and difficult moments. Those are the moments that come to test us, and they are our opportunity to exercise our own souls and spirits and become strong and become more aware. So what to do in grave moments? To be calm. Life as a state of struggle can be good, but the state of war is never a good life. So being in war, fighting, nurturing conflicts and resentment is never good. But a life that is filled with struggles still can be good, because the struggles can be seen as something positive. Although difficult, although hard, they are always an opportunity for the betterment of our own souls. Do not deliberate hurriedly. Circumstances, the offspring of superior designs, modify our experiences minute by minute. So things are ever changing. Keep that in mind when you are undergoing a difficult time. In grave moments, avoid inopportune tears. They can complicate enigmas instead of solving them. And the way I think about those is really like tears of sadness, tears that comes with loss. They always welcome, healthy and necessary. But there are times where our tears are of no acceptance. And those can really complicate our lives and make things harder. It's easier when we flow with life, when we engage in what is and try to learn from what is, as opposed to resisting. That creates another layer of suffering in our lives. If you err in grave moments, if you err disastrously, do not sink into despair. Standing up again is the best measure for one who falls. How many times should I stand up again? Infinite. Just keep standing. It doesn't matter. Every time you stand, you're standing taller. You're not standing at the same height. You're not standing in the same way. Whether you see that or not, there's always some gain every time you stand up. In grave moments, be patient. If you cannot dominate yourself, it is useless for you to seek understanding from one who does not as yet comprehend you. So when we cannot dominate ourselves, that means that we don't know ourselves. We are not in charge of our emotional selves. So it's hard to expect that someone's going to understand us when we ourselves are not there. So we got to be patient with others, be patient with ourselves. In grave moments, if the problem is excessively complex, wait one more day or week in order to solve it. time does not pass in vain. So a lot of times you can't see the solution, you can't see a way out, you can't see the light, but time is there for a reason. And a lot of times giving it some time is just what needs for us to be able to gain some clarity. In grave moments, do not enter a noisy circle with the intention of defending someone. There are people who like to make a great deal of noise merely as a matter of preference. Be moderate in your resolutions and attitudes. Our spiritual reality is more visible in grave moments. That is so true, right? So you can think of yourself as being good, as being kind, as being patient, tolerant, loving, but the time to know whether you are all of that is really in the moment of crisis. Are you able to pull your best version, your best self in the moments that you're being tried? Be careful in any kind of evaluation alluding to second and third persons. In other occasions, others will be called upon to evaluate you. And that is something that I really, really think a lot these days. Like, I see someone, I see a circumstance, I see a situation. Do I know everything that I need to know in order to judge that situation, in order to say anything? And most of the times we don't know. We don't know all the factors. We don't know all that is in the life of that person, all that is going on. And so we need to be careful in any evaluation that we do. And in grave moments, never proclaim your individual merits, since any excellent quality is very problematical in the frame of our spiritual acquisitions. Remember that virtue is not a voice that speaks, but rather a power that radiates. So when we achieve something, and it's a virtue truly, truly achieved, there's no need to proclaim it. We know, and there is this state of inner rejoicing and of inner peace and contentment that speaks for itself, and the power of that acquisition will manifest in our lives without us having to market the virtue, which makes it a little less of a virtue. So these are some reminders for times, grave moments that are challenging. Again, as we prepare for the new year, and we say to each other, Happy New Year, do we mean a new year without grave moments? Do we mean a new year that is all a breeze, right? No, we mean a new year that's rich, that is life happening, flowing with everything that we need, because everything that comes into our lives, we are attracting are the things that we need and are the things that will contribute to our betterment, to our growth, to the expansion of our awareness. And that includes what we call the good, what we label as good, what we label as bad. But there are certain ways to deal with the moment of crisis that can certainly be helpful for us in experiencing a better and happier new year.